all aircrafts, no takeoffs or landings nationwide at all airports. All bridges and tunnels are closed. This is a live shot of Washington. I'm sorry, this is a tape of Washington. Reports of
an explosion of some sort at the Pentagon.
Some sort.
They're not sure whether it was another plane or actually a bomb, but they are investigating that at this point.
The Associated Press was reporting that a tail end of a large airline had plunged into that building. Right. And, of course, the West Wing has also been evacuated. We're once again back live looking at this ominous and eerie shot of the World Trade Center. Two planes hit the two towers. The first plane shortly before 9. The second plane shortly, I believe, 18 minutes after, if we are correct. As a result, all bridges and tunnels are closed. All aircrafts nationwide landing.
Here it is. Here's the second plane that went into that trade tower. If you're just joining us, second plane going into the first tower of the World Trade Center, crashing through it. You can see the fiery explosion that resulted from that. And again, countless people obviously in this building, in the other building as well. At this hour, we have no idea how many people have been evacuated, how many people still trapped in that building at this point.
And you can see smoke pouring out of the gaping holes of the upper floors of the World Trade Center. Reports that a plane had struck the 110-story building. Just to give you an idea, two towers, 110 stories, countless people. 1993 was the last time the World Trade Center
came under attack.
Under attack like this. We're trying to get reports from the ground. We're trying to get reports of any casualties, if there are any. At this time, it's uncertain. We spoke to several witnesses, and they do report seeing and hearing a low-flying plane that came in and hit that second tower that we witnessed. We were on the air for minutes.
It was an unbelievable sight.
My reaction was, I couldn't believe what I was watching. And I think a lot of people who are tuning in and are listening to us are not believing what they're
actually seeing. But you are seeing this country, as the president said, under attack, apparently. We are being told that the State Department is evacuating this building as well, if we got that information correct.
We're also being told that President Bush will be briefing the nation as soon as he is briefed. Yes, he's in Sarasota, Florida, where he was speaking to children.
And we just saw Sonia Diener live for us in Washington, where the Pentagon has come under fire. The Pentagon, apparently a plane, if you can show us that shot again, a plane crashing into, or a part of a plane crashing into the Pentagon. Obviously that has been evacuated as well as the West Wing of the White House, another building nearby.
Lynn, it's 9:55. We've been on the air since, I would say, 5 minutes after 9, around 9 o'clock, and it's been a harrowing experience for us, just kind of watching this and hearing reports, and first seeing the first tower on fire. Now you're looking at the shot of Washington, D.C., part of the Pentagon as well, upper level on fire as well.
We're also reporting that we're hearing reports that LaGuardia is being evacuated, including the tower there. The Pentagon. The Pentagon you're looking at in the background right there, again, and the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. Both of these historic buildings under attack, being called terrorist attacks, obviously.
And obviously you want to notice that smoke billowing in the Washington, D.C. shot was the Pentagon in the background.
That's
background. That's why it wasn't very apparent exactly what it was.
Okay. Now, we've had Melinda Murphy over this site for part of the broadcast, and unfortunately the choppers are going to have to come down because LaGuardia has been evacuated and the tower there cannot communicate. Another problem, and when you think about where a terrorist would attack, pick the site that obviously would cause the most problems, because there are many communications points in this building, many government offices in this building, and unfortunately many innocent victims in this building. 110 floors of the building, 2 towers. You can only imagine how many people are in the building, trying to get out of the building. will never be able to get out of the building at this point.
Well, Lynn, Dr. Kushner, a terrorism expert who we were talking to, was saying that the World Trade Center is sort of the heart and symbol
Yes.
of the United States.
Along with the Pentagon. And you have to, you know, this was obviously no accident that the two things happened side by side, if you will, within a few minutes or maybe a half-hour span.
We're also hearing now that they're evacuating Kennedy Airport as we speak.
And all of the airports, we're told, in the areas have been shut down. And one of the reasons might be because we were told, AP first reported, that the first plane that hit the World Trade Center was a hijacked plane coming out of Boston. So you can only imagine, you know, the casualties in that alone. It's just mind-boggling.
You know, there are still no word on injuries or fatalities, but you could just imagine if we could see the ground, what it would look like.
And we should say that our crews are not able to get too close to this site for precautionary reasons. The police obviously keeping people as far away from it as possible, trying frantically, I'm sure, to get as many people out of the building as they possibly can at this moment.
Well, just a question, if we could on air, is there a possibility to switch to other bridges and tunnels to see if roadways are at a standstill, which I'm assuming that they are since everything has been closed and come to a standstill. So obviously there is going to be some backlog on the roadways as New York City and the United States takes precaution, closing all bridges and tunnels as well as airports. As an evacuation occurs.
Penn Station also closed. I would imagine any kind of transportation site at this point in jeopardy, people being asked not to go to public places like that. We have no idea, really,
and it's also
what the extent of this is going to be. We're looking at the first part of it, and hopefully it will not progress from here, but one never assumed that we would see what we're seeing now, so we have no idea really what might happen next.
And if we can aid those who are trying to get control of this situation, if you are at home and if you're watching this, if you can stay at home, please do. We are...
Okay, you're looking at another explosion right here. This is another explosion.
Part of the tower coming down?
Part of the Twin Tower, obviously folding.
Coming crashing down. We're watching a live...
It is right...
We're watching a live picture of this. What?
It's live. You're looking at this live. You're looking at another explosion right in the same area. Another explosion.
It's hard to tell.
That is a live picture right now. We don't know exactly what has exploded.
It looks like a building
part
collapse.
Of the building
it looks
collapsed.
like, but it's unclear right now, Lynn, if that is the second tower.
No,
is that the
second? Both towers are standing. This is another building in the area.
It's unclear right now if both towers are standing right now because of the smoke.
The second the first tower has collapsed. That's what happened.
The first tower has
collapsed.
There
you have it. Unbelievable. Who would have ever thought we would have witnessed something like this? And the pictures speak for themselves.
Oh, you are looking at a live shot of downtown.
You are looking at devastation of downtown New York. Again, this all started just after 8 o'clock. We don't know how many people were in that tower. We don't know how many people were in both towers. You are looking at the complete wreck of this landmark building.
Speechless.
All right, we're going to try to show you this again. Just events unfolding that you could never imagine in your worst nightmare. Beginning right after 8 o'clock this morning here in New York with the World Trade Center. Tower 1 collapsing from a plane that the FBI is now saying may have come from a hijacked plane out of Boston. Shortly after that, a second plane crashing into the first tower of the World Trade Center. Now you can see just minutes ago the first tower collapsed completely. It looks to be demolished.
That is a 110-story building that collapsed to the ground. And we're going to
show it to you
this
one more time. This is what you just saw if you were watching just a few minutes ago, and if you're just joining us. The first tower of the landmark World Trade Center, no longer. This is what it's become.
We're slow-moing this, so obviously you can see it's sort of imploding. If I can say that it is imploding,
yes.
It is imploding and coming to the ground 110 stories.
In front of our eyes.
Obviously, our thoughts are that
with the people who may have been inside at the time this happened, and how and who and why.
Absolute devastation. You're looking at a live picture of Lower Manhattan here.
The landscape just completely
Vanished.
gone. Oh. And what a beautiful, clear, incredible day this started out as. And it has turned into a day of just complete devastation.
And of course, Lynn, a lot of people living in the surrounding boroughs, I'm sure, because it is. Two planes hit the two towers. The first plane shortly before 9. The second plane shortly, I believe, 18 minutes after, if we are correct. As a result, all bridges and tunnels are closed. All aircrafts nationwide landing.
Here it is. Here's the second plane that went into that trade tower. If you're just joining us,
Of a large airline had plunged into that building.
Right.
And of course, the West Wing has also been evacuated. We're once again back live looking at this ominous and eerie shot of the World Trade Center, Washington. Reports of
an explosion of some sort at the Pentagon.
Some sort.
They're not sure whether it was another plane or actually a bomb, but they are investigating that at this point.
The Associated Press was reporting that a tail end all aircrafts, no takeoffs or landings nationwide at all airports. All bridges and tunnels are closed. This is a live shot of Washington. I'm sorry, this is a tape of